Hi, Lindsay. So here we go with our verbal feedback. You'll have to let me know if this works well for you. Right off the bat, I'm impressed that you would choose in-text citations and MLA for 10th graders. Lofty choice on your part. That is not necessarily the most fun lesson in the world, so I'll be curious to see how you do this. All right, so you've got, I appreciate the fact, like the thoroughness of having your necessary materials. Prior content knowledge is parenthetical citations, and then new content knowledge is how to write an in-text citation. Now, I thought parenthetical and in-text were the same, but I'll look to see in your lesson plan if you are differentiating those for the kids, all right? All right, as far as your established goals, you dug through the evidence outcomes through the standards into the evidence outcomes, and I think this is a manageable chunk that they can cite textual evidence, they can use parenthetical citations. Excellent, very nice, very succinct. As far as your essential questions go, what is the importance of not plagiarizing? In other words, what can we learn about quoting other people's words? I think those are really good questions and questions that are developmentally appropriate that 10th graders can and should be asking. I hope that you actually use those questions in your lesson plan. So let's look at the objectives you will post on your board. Students will understand how to integrate evidence into their writing. Perfect, and using in-text citations correctly, well aligned, I like it. Then you have students will be able to compose in-text citation using Dr. Seuss, compare and contrast differences between correct and incorrect. I think that your first one is very straightforward, very measurable. They cite Dr. Seuss, they do it correctly or not. This one is a little less measurable, compare and contrast differences by analyzing both. You want your objectives that you post on the board to be really measurable, really clear. Student either met this or student didn't meet this. And analyzing, because it's such a high-level Bloom's taxonomy word, might not be the best objective to put on the board for a lesson plan like this, right? Where it's so concrete, MLA source citing. You either do it right or you don't. So you might want to think about compare and contrast the differences in correct by completing a worksheet or something like that, really measurable. All right. This one, however, is very measurable. Good. And I've heard that acronym before. My 7th graders, they loved that. They laughed so hard and they were so willing to do it because it was funny. So your formative assessment, excellent, easy to see whether they're grasping the concept or not. Summative assessment, right, did they do it correctly on their research papers? Excellent, straightforward, well done. All right, so your learning activities. The hooks, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. A sample of an essay that has a big red F on it, one of my college papers that I just have common citation errors. That's fantastic, Lindsay. I love it, and I love the fact that you have this kind of dialogue in here. It makes it very real to the students. Here's what happens when you don't do this well. You get an F, and it's a big red F. Very, very good hook. Very nice, very engaging. All right. So once you have them engaged, you go on to your direct instruction. You have them use some callback for you. Excellent. Why is it important that we learn this skill? Okay. All right, excellent. I, again, love the fact that you're actually giving me your words in here. The direct instruction. Oh, interesting. Can someone tell me the difference between embedded and dropped in quotes? Excellent. And then you have these pieces here. And let's see. Oh, you do have that. I'm going to have you take a few notes. Man, Lindsay, this is fantastic. I feel like I'm looking for problems and not finding any. This is great. So not only do you give them the definitions, have them write the definitions, but then you give them an example of each. Perfect. Mothers are all slightly insane. I can attest to that, by the way. All right. Excellent. Again, nicely done here. Excellent. What observations you make about the difference between embedded and dropped in quotes. That's excellent, so that it's not just a definitional thing and not just something that you demonstrate for them, but something that you want them to think about and ingest. Dang, girl, this is really good. Good. Excellent. All right. So, nice step-by-step instructions because this is a step-by-step process. Excellent. The steps in here, the steps in here. You're having the students take notes on it. Included a signal phrase. Oh, excellent. Good. Wow. I wish someone had taught me this when I was in high school. This is great. All right. Insert your meaningful quote. Explain your quote. Oh, beautiful, because this is going to set them up nicely, when you think about argumentative writing and getting them towards Toolman. Beautiful. Let me scroll a little bit more here. All right. Guided practice using Seuss, well aligned to your objective. Great. All right. Oh, look at you modeling the think aloud. I need to introduce my text. Use a signal phrase. Oh, this is great, Lindsay. Great. Some group practice, some closure. You put your differentiation at the bottom. Okay, great. Oh, wonderful. A handout version of the notes to some students because that's a lot of note taking in general. Wow. Wow, Lindsay, this is great. I wonder if this is the one that you taught in Dr. O's class the other day. You'll have to let me know how it went. But, Lindsay, this is super fantastic. Nicely done.